What is up, guys? Big Kackis here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and today we are going over the massive amount of information that came from the Armor 2.0 reveal stream that happened today. Both the official information and some not so official things I was quick enough to grab screenshots of. So, let's get started. First things first, let's go over something unofficial. They scrolled over the power level for just a fraction of a second, but I was quick enough again to grab a screenshot, and this reveals that the leveling system and the power level system is actually getting some pretty significant changes with Shadowkeep. Let's take a look at the screenshot here. So it says power 781. However, if you look closely, 780 of that is from the gear, and there's a +1 bonus. So it says your power score is an aggregate of the power value across all of your currently equipped gear. A higher power score improves both your damage output and your defense. That's what we've been dealing with this whole time. But what's this bonus? Well, if we look, bonus power grows as you gain experience and is applied to all guardians on your account. It resets with each new seasonal artifact. Wow, so you're actually just going to be able to play the game, slay out on enemies, and even if you get not a single piece of gear, you could potentially level up this next power bonus with just experience and gain an overall power score increase. So I think this is a mechanic that's being introduced that's going to alleviate some of the RNG of the power system. If you get screwed by getting gauntlets 3 times in a row, we've all been there, you're going to potentially just be playing the game so much that you're still going to be getting that power score bonus and counteracting that bad RNG. Really interesting change. Can't wait to utilize it in Shadowkeep. Alright, now moving on from there, let's get into Armor 2.0. So the basis of this system works exactly like I said it would in my Armor 2.0 video, but we got additional information on top of that. So basically, when you get a piece of Armor 2.0 gear, and by the way, this is something revealed near the end of the stream, but I'm going to put it here. Once Shadowkeep arrives, obviously if you've done the Solstice Majestic set, that upgrades to an Armor 2.0 set, a full Armor 2.0 set. But also at that point, again when Shadowkeep drops, any legendary armor you now get in the game drops as Armor 2.0. So, old raid armor, escalation protocol armor, all that stuff will drop the Armor 2.0 version. And that's going to be important because, as it turns out, your armor that you get, like a piece of armor, will have a certain element. For example, you may have a helmet that has solar energy and then a different helmet with void energy, both being in the Armor 2.0 system. But depending on the energy, it appears that certain mods can only socket to that armor piece. So they said on stream that arc is a little bit more associated with shotguns. So you're going to have more often shotgun scavenger and other shotgun related mods that require arc energy. So having a good variety of the different elemental energies present within your build could be very important. But I've talked about energy value, and we saw more about exactly how that works. So let's say, going back to that helmet example, it's going to have a solar energy value of 5. And that means that you can put in 5 energy worth of mods into that armor piece. And all the mods now are going to be weighted, as you can see with the background screenshots. So some mods are going to have a weight of 1, some are going to have a weight of, 6. But this 5 energy value can be increased simply by leveling it up. It's going to cost legendary shards at first, then it's going to also involve enhancement cores, and lastly it's going to involve like ascendant shards, like one new additional resource to fully masterwork a piece of armor. And once that armor is fully masterworked, it's going to have 10 total energy to use. So that means some of the mods that were weighted 6 that you couldn't even have used before, you can now use that, and then let's say a mod that is only 3, and then lastly a mod that's 1. And that's important as well. all the armor had 3 different mod slots. So basically, Armor 2.0 is going to have the capability to have essentially 3 different perks of your choice. But as you can see, 2 different mod slots on a piece of armor share from the same mod pool, and then there's always the third one, which is from a different pool. So that means, and this is pretty different than before, if you have the right armor piece and you're looking at mods for, let's say, leg armor, you can have 2 different scavenger mods on the same armor piece. So you can have rocket launcher scavenger and shotgun scavenger, again, on the same armor piece. And obviously, this increases your customization dramatically. Like they showed on the stream, one of the people was building a warlock with the Getaway Artist exotic gauntlets, which lets you consume your grenade and make an empowered Arc Soul buddy that's going to go around and shoot guys for you. Well, the person just put in a crap ton of discipline mods. Now, discipline is going to increase the recharge of your grenades, and those stats are also present, as you can see, on Armor 2.0. So Armor 2.0 armor will not just come with resilience, mobility, and recovery. It's going to also get discipline, intellect, and strength to affect your grenades, super, and melee respectively. So instead of having a super mod like it is right now in the game, you now have an intellect mod, and you can keep track of how much your intellect or whatever is impacting your Guardian. You can see there's tooltips now that show how much mobility do you have and what stat does that affect, how much discipline, etc. And you can see how increasing these stats is going to work, because it's out of 100, and every 10 levels you're going to get a bump up in the stat you're trying to affect. So for example, if you're trying to increase your discipline because you want more grenade recharge and you have 49 discipline, it doesn't appear like you get a bonus. But as soon as you hit that threshold, as soon as you get 50 discipline, boom, it slots into another tier, and then you get that effect of having higher discipline. Also, speaking of these stats, it's interesting to note that when you fully masterwork a piece of armor, you get a +2 stat boost to all of your different stats. So it is worth going out there and masterworking your armor. That's going to be a lot more important now with Shadowkeep. Alright, but a big question about these mods is, how exactly do individual mods work, in the sense that if I apply it to a piece of armor, is it going to stick to that piece of armor? Is it going to be like it is right now, where I have to dismantle that armor just to get my darn mod back? Well, no. Once you get a mod, you have that particular mod forever, and you can slot that one mod into as many armor pieces as it can possibly slot into. So let's say you open an engram from the gunsmith, which is one of the sources where you can get some of these Armor 2.0 mods, and you get a discipline mod like we've been talking about, and you have 3 different helmets for Armor 2.0. You can put that one discipline mod in all 3 of those Armor 2.0 helmets. It won't consume itself when you put it in. And that means that the only barrier to putting in mods and switching mods is a small cost to Glimmer. By the way, something else interesting is that the Glimmer cap has been raised to 250,000, so rejoice. But in any event, that means that you can, if you're going into a strike with a certain burn, if you want to switch up your loadout, if you want to switch up what mods you have on, you can do that on the fly super easily. It's just going to cost Glimmer. You're not going to be destroying armor, and you're not going to be destroying mods when you're doing this. So that means it's going to be so much easier to set a full-out build and craft what you want to play. For example, you want a grenade build, you put every single grenade mod on. It actually looks like it's going to be so much easier with Armor 2.0 to realistically run double specials. And that's because one of the brand new perks we saw was an ammo finder for particular guns. So every gun in the game, pulse rifles, hand cannons, shotguns, sniper rifles, you can put on an ammo finder, and that makes ammo in the world more likely to drop for that weapon. And they actually showed off on stream, like, if you have a sniper rifle ammo finder, as someone did, and then a special ammo brick drops because of that perk, it's going to have a special glow to it that's going to show you that that perk is working. So you can put on, double shotguns and then have shotgun ammo finder, shotgun ammo scavenger, shotgun ammo reserves. You can just have a dedicated double shotgun, super aggressive build way more realistically than you can right now. And here's something that's really exciting. All the stuff I've just talked about how a piece of Armor 2.0 is going to work, that's also going to apply to exotics. That's right, exotics are getting the Armor 2.0 treatment. So if you want to put on your one-eyed mask, you can actually go in and put mods onto that piece of exotic armor just like you can with the legendary armor that we've been looking at in the screenshots. And of course, here's screenshots of someone doing that to the crest of Alpha Lupi. That is super exciting. That's going to have so much more customization. And if you're concerned about, well, does that mean I have to go and get all my exotics all over again? No, not necessarily. All of the exotics that you currently have, when Shadowkeep launches, you're going to be able to withdraw them from your collection, and when you do, they're going to be the new Armor 2.0 versions. Now, they will have set roles in terms of the stats they come with, so you can obviously go to Xur after or still loot in the world, and you can potentially get a better version of whatever you've withdrawn. But again, if you've collected it right now, if you have a one-eyed mask right now, you can withdraw it when Shadowkeep comes, and it will be the Armor 2.0 version. Not to mention that on top of all this, the actual way you customize the appearance of your armor is improving dramatically as well. There's actually going to be a brand new tab all for the appearance where you can go and pick the look of your armor from any of the armor you've collected in the past. So if you have that Solstice armor and it's Armor 2.0, but you have a set of Eververse armor that you've currently earned and even deleted, then you can make it look like the Eververse armor while still having all the mods and all of the stats it comes with. Alright, now moving beyond the Armor 2.0 system, some more really interesting stuff that was revealed was in terms of supers that had been pretty dramatically buffed. Firstly, the Night Stalker Hunter, specifically the bottom tree, which right now, nobody uses. Well, they're actually making it more powerful when you use this bottom tree because it's going to have much more synergy with throwing your grenades and then getting your smoke bombs back way faster to turn you and your allies invisible. So you're going to be able to kind of wombo combo yourself a lot more often. And they did also say that they're pretty significantly buffing the damage of Mobius Quiver, both in PvE and in PvP. So hunters, definitely make sure to try this out when Shadowkeep launches. It could be very good now. And something else that they buffed in terms of supers, this time for the Titans, Weapons of Light is back. That's right, Weapons of Light is back when you have a bubble. So how it's going to work is when you put down the bubble, which remember, you instead of calling your Sentinel super, you hold down on your super button and you're going to put down that bubble. Inside, you're still going to have Armor of Light. That's still active. But when you step outside, you then have Weapons of Light. Now, for those of you who didn't play Destiny 1, Weapons of Light increases the damage of your guns. In fact, before we had Well of Radiance, Titans filled the role of what Warlocks do right now, where they were constantly putting down bubbles with Weapons of Light in activities like raids, and that's where the majority of your increased damage came from, is a bubble and then stepping out and going to town with weapons on a boss. So that is huge. Are we finally going to see Titans actually start to be useful in endgame activities like raids and potentially even edge out Well of Radiance Warlocks? We'll have to see, but exciting news regardless. And so guys, that is it for all of the brand new information that came out with this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you guys want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKackis. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.